Hello, good morning, and welcome to a brand new week. A week of prosperity, a week of blessings, a week of favor, a week of love, affection, a week of honesty, a week of accountability, from this table, and, you know, a blessed week. My name is Towa Derele. I'm glad to return this week, and I'm grateful to God for the gift of life and, of course, the gift of my voice. It's always a delight to sit here and share with you every morning, all week through, on the breakfast show. So, yes, here's welcoming you to a fresh edition of the Breakfast Express show. Just in case you don't know, just in case you stumbled on the station, I'd like to remind you that this is MITV Plus. Okay, so we're ready to roll. So much to talk about, so much to deliver, so many newspapers to review. And of course, at some point, we'll be expecting your call. So, welcome again. I have on the table with me Okpayemi Akiode. It's nice to have you. How was your weekend?
Good. I had enough rest. I was supposed to have an engagement. I told her I was supposed to make a quick trip.
Yes, you did.
For my uncle's wife's 60th. I just felt like my body needed that rest. And these days, you have to manage,
True.
everywhere because there's a whole lot of responsibility upon us right now. And it's a good time to be alive. And more importantly, we're also ready on this platform to offer ourselves as a channel to engage the people and also help you make informed political decisions. The Presidential and National Assembly elections is 146 days away from today, and you can always bank on us on this platform. Monday to Friday, we'll always be here, God willing. My name is Okpayemi. Okpayemi Akende. Good to have you join us. It's a Monday, fresh start too.
Yes, fresh start, and I'm energized. All right, so we will take a required break this time. We never know when we'll get to take another
We
break.
probably will never even take any other
As
one.
usual, that's what's been happening recently, unfortunately. But we should take a break, when due. All right, so we'll take our very first break right now, and then when we return, there'll be more for you on the program. Please stay tuned.
Excuse me.
You're welcome back to the Breakfast Express show, and I'll be starting with the Point newspaper as this is our review segment. We're going to be reviewing the newspapers this morning, and all that we need to know will be in the papers. All right, tributes as Nollywood, and yes, I think we should have started on that note. Note of condolence, note of you know, pure sadness, as not just Nollywood, but the entertainment industry at large, lost a very great and dear one. It's no longer news, everybody knows him as Ogogo, and he died at the age of 66, after battling with stage 4 cancer. I don't know how we can do this, but it's so important, that we kick cancer, out of town. I pray for his soul that God will grant him, what do you call it, Al Jannah, and accept his soul and forgive his sins. And I pray for his family, most especially, the loved ones, his friends, his colleagues, that God will give every one of us, in the industry, fortitude, to bear the loss. Okwemi?
Yeah, I mean, it was a major part of our childhood, growing up. You get to hear words like "action pop yo go go." I remember one of my favorite track from the very famous Olamide. That's Owo Blue. In fact, I was on the set of the video shoot of that song, and I think two things. First off, I'm sure you probably have been buried already, if not, according to Islamic rites. The family released a statement that we buried at the pavilion in Ilaro early this morning. His body arrived yesterday night at Ilaro. But more than anything else, though, I think this just teaches us one single thing. It's a transition. It's a debt that we all owe. And when they say, I made a post late yesterday night on my socials, and I said that the living are hating on each other, and then the living go on to celebrate the dead. Let the dead bury their dead, and that's the reality that we should live with every single day. I mean, was a man of impact. He lived his life, did the best he could. For my findings, I found out that he married two wives, but you would never know that he raised all of his children to be one, and the children share a tremendous level of connection with him. I jumped on how the daughter, based in Canada at the moment, announced. I think she was on live. She was on a live TikTok stream where they told her that her father was dead, and then she's pregnant, and she was really distraught, and she just kept saying, "Please book my tickets. I want to see my father before they bury him." And so after then, various videos of himself and his daughters had continued to come up. It's a message. You would never be here forever, even if you manage to be one of the anointed of God. And then at the end of the day, if there's a chariot of fire, it will take you. Even Methuselah lived 969 years and he still died. So you're not going to be here forever. So the question is this: what would posterity say about you when you are gone? What would the people say about you? Would it be a celebration, or would it be a celebration? I remember when Abacha died, it was a celebration, right? Okay. So I think we should just live right. We'll all die eventually, young, old. And the expectancy rate in Nigeria is dropping every day, 55 now. So if you say you died at 66, there's a difference between gone too soon and called to glory. So you'd have to choose which one you want the people to say about you. We commiserate with the families, and we hope that they wouldn't have the fortitude to bear the loss. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I agree with you 100%. Is it going to be the celebration, or is it going to be a celebration? Like he rightly said, when Abacha died, it was the celebration. Everybody was celebrating the death of Abacha, and I hate to speak ill of the dead, but the general impression was, it was
A
it
good
was it was
riddance.
a, it was a huge relief for a number of people, and this is not in any. I'm not saying this in any derogatory manner. I'm only describing the atmosphere at the time, because when people feel oppressed, their backs are up against the wall, things are just not going well. People are like they're hopeless. When that same cause, is taken away by whatever
So
means,
I was such a
by
sorry
whatever
to hold
means.
your thoughts. I was such a little boy when Abacha died. I went to military secondary school. So from primary school, I went to command children's school, command secondary school. So yeah, like, that under the military everywhere. So the moment he died, you could feel it within the barracks. Even on usually they closed us. They closed us that day. They told everybody to
Go
go
home.
back to the hostel. No, I was
Oh,
in
to the
boarding
whole.
house. Yeah.
Okay.
So you could feel it, but because we were in a how do I put it now?
You were in an enclosed
In an
circuit.
enclosed circle.
Yeah.
We're more like in a regimented environment. We didn't know what was happening outside.
Outside.
It was months, maybe after we went on vacation, and I came home, and then my mom was telling me that when Abacha died, how did they announce it to you guys? And I'm like, we didn't know what happened. And they were telling us that people were rejoicing on the
Rejoicing,
streets. People
celebrating,
wore
yeah.
Ankara. People were celebrating. And I'm like, we in the barracks, you want to celebrate the death of the chief, the head of state in the barracks at school.
No, that's not possible.
But it's basically just telling you that when you leave, you don't know what you've left behind. Sometimes you've made so much wealth and then you just go and then it becomes a problem. There are families where 20 years, 30 years down the line, their children are still fighting over the properties they left behind. I was following the story of a very wealthy man recently that the Lagos state government took administrative of his properties because they've been fighting for almost 20 years. I will get this one, I will get that one. They couldn't resolve it. So I'm just thinking that, especially to the political elite, too, you can't buy death. I've always said it. The brutality of death is crazy. It's fatal. The moment it comes, you can't say anything about it. You will not even get the chance to. So you
Well,
have to live right.
death is the debt that we owe.
Yeah.
It's the debt that I mean, if there's one thing that's common, among all of us,
Rich, poor.
whether you're irrespective of your status, irrespective of your religion, your tribe, your nationality, irrespective of everything, there's one thing that
That's
will,
constant.
that is constant. That's the constant K, if you ask me, and that is death. So you want to you do a self reassessment, and that's what I always call for every single day. Now, what's going on in the MCR? I don't understand. So we call for that every single day. That we must check ourselves, take a thorough look at ourselves, inward and outward, look at exactly what it is that we know is missing or what it is that we have done in excess, and, try to streamline, try to become better people, just as Okwe said, and I was going to go there, that the people who are leading this country, who are in positions of authority, have forgotten, that one day will come.
Huh.
And when it comes, first of all, how is it going to meet you? What are the things that would qualify you, to go and rest, have a proper rest, an eternal rest? Have you done those things? Are you one of those who has been given allocation to take care of your state, to take care of your local government, and you're not doing it? You're putting the money in your pockets because you know that you're not coming back. This fresh allocation that was released towards the end of last week, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to make life better for the people, or are you going to make life better for your stomach and your family? What are you going to do with it? All these things will judge you. Posterity will judge every single human being. People are saying good things about Ogogo. Oh, he was very, very kind. He was, they said a lot of things about him. I have gone for a funeral. No, it wasn't a funeral, it was a wake-up where people were talking about this woman in a very, very nasty way. How wicked she was, how insensitive she was, how inhumane she was, and all manner of things. You don't want to be spoken about like that. It's time for us to remember that, when the leadership is placed in your hands, it's for a reason. There are millions of people, hundreds of millions of people within this space that we call Nigeria who have not been given the opportunity. But you have been singled out, irrespective of your corruption in the past, irrespective of your bad track records. God still allowed it, because if God didn't allow it, you will not be there. We have people we have seen, corruption run through their veins, and yet they're going back, to run for Senate position. They're going back to run for members of the House of Representatives. They're going back to the governorship seats and all of that. And people will vote for them. That's the funny part. Nigerians will vote for them. When they collect 5,000 naira, when they collect a bag of rice, when they collect some groundnut oil, they will vote for them. But guess what? Irrespective of everything that's on the outside, what is it that's inside your heart that keeps telling you that you're not doing the right thing? Why don't you just pay attention to it so that posterity will judge you well? We already have a call on the line, but we won't take that call because we need to settle down into the program, get ourselves. We haven't even started the newspaper review per se. Okay, so tributes as Nollywood Ogun Mon Ogogo at 66. And I would like to add that headline, is kind of, for me, is kind of restricted, because I think it should have been broader, because Nigerians, it's not about Ogun State. Nigerians are mourning him. Even Nigerians in diaspora are mourning him, because he's been in their houses, in their bedrooms, in their living rooms, on television, through that medium. So Nigerians are mourning Ogogo as we speak. Not just Nollywood, but the entire entertainment space, the entire media world is mourning him as we speak. So tributes are going out to him. We've paid our little tributes, right here on the table, and we, like I said, we hope that everything will go well as they lay him to rest this morning. Okay, still on the Punch newspaper, they're above the nameplate. The calls keep coming and they're like kind of disturbing right now. Oil blocks, 31 winners face payment deadline. Well, okay, 31 winners, 31 people have won these oil blocks. First of all, when you say they have won, are you giving us the criteria through which they won? Is it a man, no man thing? Who do you know? The powers that be, are allocating these oil blocks to people that they know. Is that the case? Nigerians need to be well informed. And let me give it to the Tinubu administration. They've come out with figures. They've been giving us figures, which, has not really been the practice, But the thing is that, with the figures, what have you used the money? How exactly have you spent the money? It's not about just giving us figures. Yes, we'll give you credit for giving us the figures, but you need to tell us how you spend the money. In the same vein, how did these 31 people win the oil blocks? I'm quite interested, and I'm sure Okwe has some more information on that. Have they gone a proper process? Have they been approved, the right way? And are they people that are worth, being given oil blocks? Are they going to use it to the benefit of Nigerians? These are questions that we need to ask ahead of time, because it's not about just going through the process, going through a proper process and winning these things, because even the process that we call proper, is relative, depends on how you're looking at it. So, I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's how it will trickle down to the masses. Are the masses going to benefit from what they're doing? That's the bottom line. It's not about having the oil blocks, or the number of oil blocks, or the number of people that win the oil blocks, or whether they made it through whatever process they were supposed to face. But Okpeyemi, my question is that how is this going to benefit Nigerians? Bottom line. How is it going to benefit people at the grassroots? Bottom line.
Yeah, the bidding process was pretty transparent.
Okay.
There were about 240 companies that participated in the bidding. There were, I think, about 50 slots was announced, by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission that they were going to give them. So there's a deadline of October. I think October 19 or 20 or so, as the deadline for them to pay, their signature bonuses. And so we usually have periodic licensing round. That's what they call it. So, okay, maybe there are openings for oil exploration, and then so within Benin, Anambra, the Chad Basin. So I think those are the locations where the oil blocks are going to be spread. So my concern, though, is not even issuing those licenses now. Just like you said, it is the commitment to the people that are taking those licenses. When we privatized NEPA, there was IBEDC, there was a IKEDC. There was a promise that there's going to be an holistic restructuring. They're going to invest in infrastructure, dilapidated power lines. They will review some of the transformers so that they can boost the distribution of whatever is being generated from the national grid. And I'm telling people, the grid that we have today has the capacity of generating as much as 11,000 megawatts. Our problem is not generation too. Our problem is distribution. Some of the equipment we have is so dilapidated. Some of them as old as 1975, 1970. So they can't. The moment the load shoots above what it can carry, we're back to zero. Do you understand? So when we say we are privatizing, I'm always concerned. What is the process of the bidding? You ask a very important question.
That's
Is it
that's
man,
the
no man?
that's
Do you understand?
these are the
Who are the people
questions.
that you are giving these licenses to? Are they
Exactly.
cronies of the people within the political
Exactly.
space?
Exactly.
What is their commitment to what they want to do? Oh, we're going to start oil exploration in 3 years, in 2 years. We'll set up modular refineries to make sure that even if we cannot do so much, 25,000 megawatt barrel per day, 250,000, because these things, they have sizes, they have capacity to which they can, get into the market. But the advantage of that is this: we continue to commercialize the market so that we don't have an absolute monopoly of what we're dealing with right now. So I followed the process. I think about 140 companies also did the bidding. 50 licensed were made available. So some
But
are
out
paid.
of the 50,
Yes.
31
I
win.
think about, no, I think there was the entire 50. Some have paid. So I think these are
So
the
these are
number of
the
people
that have
that have
not
not
paid.
made their,
So
their
the
statutory
deadline.
deposits. So they have to do that. And the agency is threatening to withdraw those licenses if they don't meet up to the October 9, I think October 19, October 20 deadline. So the bidding was transparent. I mean, they displayed all the, when they were licensed, it was on the pages of newspaper. Wow, sometimes it can be the hand of Esau and the voice of
Okay,
Jacob. No, I'm just
okay.
responding
Don't. This
to
is Nigeria. Come on, this is Nigeria, and that's why I asked these pertinent questions in the first place. How were they shortlisted? Do you understand? Okay, the bidding in our eyes, and that's
was
why I said it's
transparent. But
relative.
who is behind
But
the
yeah,
people that
exactly.
collected those
What the big
licenses?
yes? How real? How authentic? How dispassionate was the entry process, because this is Nigeria. How many people want to do things the proper way? How many people want to do things the right way? It's unfortunate, but the bottom line for us, what we're hoping is that in all of this, okay, now 31 people have not made payment, and if they don't make payment before the deadline, these things will be withdrawn and given to who? People who did not meet the criteria in the first place. Okay, are you following the
Yes,
process?
now.
Who didn't
Those
meet
are
the,
the people that were
so
part of the
like the
bidding process.
backbenchers in
Exactly.
their opinion at first,
That,
they will be the ones that will not be
and in
brought
most
on board.
cases, those people
Come
are
on.
always readily on standby because they
Exactly.
didn't scale through it. Okay, they know that some people will not
Drop
make
out.
payment. They will
Yes.
certainly drop out. Well,
So
I'm really hoping.
how much performance do we really expect? But we just keep our fingers crossed and crossed and continue to demand for accountability. I expect every Nigerian to walk into their local government and ask the local government chairman, what have you spent our money on? Okay, when are we going to Ikeja local government?
And like campaigns have started now, so we would have to put it in our schedule. Maybe one of these days,
When are we going?
whenever the team is ready.
We don't need to go with the team. Okay, you and I can go
So,
and ask
so
the chairman to account for what he's been doing. So you need to give me a date, which I will announce tomorrow, so that we will tell the people, and then they'll be looking for a feedback from us. Because we cannot be asking people to go and ask their local government chairman what they've been doing if we cannot do that ourselves. So we need to set the ball rolling. We need to set it in motion. We need to lead by example. After we've done that, then we will challenge the masses. We will challenge people we know. Have you gone to your local government to ask them what they've used your money for? Do you understand that kind? So we need to do it. And, I'll be expecting a reply tomorrow so that we can tell, everyone watching us that, guess what? We're going to take a tour to ex-local governments to see the
And then
chairman.
once we start,
And
we'll
then
announce the local government we are coming.
Yes,
so that you will know that these people are coming to our local government.
Exactly.
You make your whatever it is available for us. But it's a good one, and I think the people would appreciate it. Even if you don't get to meet the chairman personally,
Yes.
we can meet the information officer of the local government. We can meet whoever is
And
available
he's going
there.
to pass the message, or
Yeah,
he or
sure.
she will pass the message
Sure.
on to the chairman.
Sure.
And the chairman will know that people are going to start to ask for them to be accountable. Because now our leaders are abandoning their duty posts for politics.
Of course.
Everybody's
it's a full
campaigning
thread
now. They don't care about what the people are going through. We are here representing the people of Nigeria, the masses. We're here to speak for them because they don't have a voice to speak, So we will speak for them, and we will let them know, exactly what you are saying to them. Okay, we're still on the Punch newspaper, and we're looking at the Osun poll. How vote buyers breached EFCC, ICPC, and INEC defenses. Things are going to unfold.
Ah,
You know, this thing is just, in any way you look at politics, it's just something else. But let's see as it unfolds. I'm telling you, something somehow is going to rope somebody in, and is going
of
to,
course.
at the end of the day, the case is going to go to court. It's going to be in court hanging. It's going to be there pending, and all sorts of horrible things. But let's see. Nigerians, I know people of Osun State will speak up when necessary. Okay, Atiku Obi make final moves on campaign councils. Now let's look at the big story on the Punch newspaper. FAAC bonanza. Governors face questions as payouts hit 47 trillion. Okay, so I'll read the riders for that story before we start to look at it. Post-subsidy windfall. FAAC revenue hits 47 trillion in 3 years and surpasses previous 6-year total. States and local governments get bigger FAAC shares. Governors face hit as subsidy removal debate resurfaces. And finally, the final rider for that story, again, federal government APC tackle Atiku over petrol subsidy return call. Okay, I know you've been following the trend,
Yes.
and you can see exactly what's going on. Sometime last week, we talked about these allocations, and we were expecting that some governors would be accountable. Let us have street lights on the roads. Let us have good roads. And when the president was releasing this money, he said specifically for security
And
and
infrastructure.
infrastructure. you know. So sometimes the president surprises me because he's telling governors to stop building bridges, and you're releasing money, say, for infrastructure, especially roads. So, I'm not quite sure exactly what he wants, but I think it's a good thing anyway. Now, question is, how have the governors of the states in Nigeria been spending their allocation? Have they been giving the local governments their allocation? How have the local governments been spending their allocation? Now, the governors have started to face the heat because, first of all, they're going to be questioned at various levels of society, the political class. People are going to ask questions, and counter questions. So they must be ready. Now, the payouts, according to the figures that we read from the Punch newspaper, we see 47 trillion naira. 47 trillion naira as payouts. And so, in asking the federal government to be accountable for certain monies that are spent, we also ask the local governments and we ask the state governments to tell us exactly what's going on. Okay, let's just hit it right away. Looking at this big story, looking at the riders of the story, what do you have to say?
Well, it's a known fact that Nigerian governors have never had it this good. I'm sure that the governors that served pre-Tinubu administration
Are
will
envious.
envy the ones that are there now, especially those former governors that had to borrow money, had to drown their states in an unimaginable level of debt, both domestic and foreign debt. So I think they would count themselves a bit unlucky. Just like a lot of people say in the footballing world, that those old talents, if Shegun Odegbami was playing football today, how much will he be worth in the football market? So I think that's the fact. I would like to take it from bottom top. So because a lot of us usually focus on the national, the presidency,
The federal government,
federal
this, that,
government,
that.
this and that. We usually excuse the subnationals. At the end of the day, they will say, the buck stops on the table of the president. Fine. A lot of us voted the president, voted the governors, also voted the local government chairman. And there's a reason why the drafters of the constitution gave us 3 tiers of government. the federal, the state, and the local.
To be able to reach the grassroots,
Exactly.
to be able
So
to reach
when
everyone.
President Bola
Yeah.
Ahmed Tinubu pushed for the autonomy of the local government, it was for one reason. Whatever it is that the governors have had as a chokehold over the local government, let me break it. Those days, governors will collect money, and out of their discretion or kind-heartedness, they will give local government whatever they want to give local government. That's the way it used to be. But since that, what usually happens is that the monies for the local government go straight into their account. 774 local government. Apart from the LCDs that we have in Lagos and Ondo State, as well, we have LCDs in Ondo State. So those major out of the 774, I think they have a way of doing it. All those LCDs, I think the main local government fine. That's why there was I think in March or February this year, Alimosho local government got about 1.3 billion. That's huge. But because there are a lot of LCDs under Alimosho, there's a way they will take this one, take this one, take this one, and all of that. So if the presidency is saying 47 trillion has been shared, and that's more than what they shared in 6 years combined, what these ones have shared in just 3 years. So what you and that, see, nobody should come out and tell us that what's the value.
Do your translation.
There's so much money now.
Yeah.
People should say, what was the value of 1 million 5 years ago? What's the value of 1 million today? It's none of my business, bro. You're getting triple. There was a time in this country, Tom, where Taraba State was getting maybe 2 billion as federal allocation from FAC. And how much is Taraba generating it? And I've been to Taraba before. There's literally nothing that you can point and say, these are source of IGR, apart from agriculture. Do you understand? So it's a start. But now, Taraba State is getting 9 billion, 8 billion. Do you get my point, though? So as we are asking for these things, my only fear is this. If Atiku is saying he wants to bring back subsidy, you're literally going to have to recycle, I'm trying to look for the right word now. Rearrange the entire structure of what we have right now. If you're bringing back subsidy, that means that the governors that are getting huge amount of money now will go back to status quo. When the newly returned Osun State governor visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu told him that when I came into government, about 27 states could not meet up their salary. There's one thing you not to be able to meet up with infrastructural obligations. Oh, you cannot build road, you cannot provide this one.
But not meeting up salaries. And then let me just quickly add before you continue that you see, they say he who feels the shoes knows where it pinches. Don't forget that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor of Lagos State, and then Obasanjo was the president of Nigeria. And you remember that they were having serious
problems. When Tinubu created the LCDas, Obasanjo kicked against that. Yes. So they suspended Lagos allocation for years.
But with that was when the
creativity.
Yes, they started to thrive. What do you call it? The Lagos State
Inland Revenue Service. That's when the aggressive allocation.
They became so aggressive.
Yes.
And in no time, they were not dependent on federal allocation anymore.
Lagos became self-sustainable.
Yeah, so he's trying to, I think, this is me thinking now, that because he has experienced it, he's trying to look for a way to ease the process. Because he knows the kind of difficulties that governors carry on their shoulders when they don't get allocation from the federal.
This is where the twist is. I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu had really overpampered these governors now. They are not thinking anymore. Because they know that at the end of the month,
the allocation will come.
I'm getting 7 billion. So they're not thinking of how to generate money internally. I think we had a guest on this show one day that was asking that what exactly does Lagos do to generate money now, apart from overtaxing the people? You wake up today, do you know if you own a car in Lagos, do you know how many things you will register? Do you know how many registrations you will do before you can drive a car in this Lagos? Island Kiniko, motorway, something, parking, something. It's a problem. Do you understand? So now that monies are available to governors, a lot of them are just lavishing these monies recklessly, building airports they don't need, building government houses they won't stay in there forever, are building overhead bridges that does not have any economic value to them. They just want to have projects that they can name after themselves,
and projects that they can say this is what they spend the money on.
And at the end of the day, if you investigate those projects, the money they quoted for those projects is almost 1,000% over what the worth of that project could be. So my fear is this: making monies available to the governor is not a problem. Big ups to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for doing that. But can you exactly tell us that these monies have been judiciously spent
Spent.
for the purpose on which they are meant to be for?
Okay, we have our first call on the line. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the show.
Thank you. My name is Paul. I'm calling from Kudu.
Bola from Ikorodu.
Yes.
Okay, you need to speak a little bit louder so we can hear you.
Okay, okay. Can you
Welcome.
hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you very loud and clear. All right, go ahead and make
All
your
right, please.
contribution.
My point is very simple. The president has doled out money to all the state governors and the chairmen of local government. There should be a monitoring team to all this area for the government to know what they are using that money for. President Bola Tinubu has been telling us that don't cry on federal government. He has doled out money to governors and chairmen. If your chairman is supposed to supply you maybe road, water, all those things, go to him, complain. So Bola Tinubu is spending money, a lot of money to local government and governors. Where are they keeping that money? That should be the question now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. But before you go, I want to give you an assignment, sir. You said your name is Mr. Bola.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Bola, your namesake, our president, has given these monies for a purpose. You just requested for a monitoring team. We need people to monitor. We need, I mean, right now, I expect that Nigerians should know better that, where government has failed, we as individuals should
You should
face the
step in.
challenge, should step up the game. So I'm going to charge you with the responsibility, Mr. Bola, to go to your local government, ask to see the chairman. If you don't see the chairman, ask to see somebody who can be accountable to you to tell you what the local government is going to do with the money or has done with the monies that have been allocated to them. Now, what I want you to do when you get when you do your findings, now call us back on the program and tell us exactly the local government, tell us exactly, what their response to you, how they received you, and what it was that they told you. Bring that back to us. Let's share it with people so that we will charge other people to do the same thing. And let's keep getting the reports so that we know the local governments that are being responsible to the people, and the ones that are not. Can you do that for us?
That's a good assignment. I will try that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, okay, let's go back to
No,
you.
he has said the right thing at different times. To President Bola,
We have another call on the line. The calls keep coming. Okay, we lost it. So
he has said it that ask your governors, speak to your governors.
ask them.
I'm giving them money. I'm not keeping any money in my pockets. All the monies I've saved from subsidy. Okay, I think we have a
Hello?
call already.
Hello? Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay. So
Yes, the president has said it at different times. I'm not keeping these monies anywhere. Even though we're still servicing some of the debts that we owe, we have some obligations that we have to pay and all of that. But I'm giving you people more money. I remember there was a time where Plateau State celebrated generating 1 billion as IGR. It was almost like they almost declared a national holiday because they generated 1 billion. Now governors are living in luxury. In fact, the president has said it that he does not expect any governor to borrow. Because now you are paying your salaries, you have monies to even for the president to come out and tell them that stop building overhead bridges or bridges that are leading nowhere. It's because he knows that they just want elephant project. Sometimes when you are used to spending small money and they want big money enter
We
your account,
focus.
sometimes you are confused.
hello, good morning. Okay, so we lost that call. Anyway,
Sometimes you are confused and you're like, I told you we made that example last week of getting a lot of 10 million and actually seeing 10 million
million
work.
physical
So I think
cash.
the governors are confused, especially those ones that served first term under Buhari administration and are serving second term. They saw what they faced in 2019 to 2023 and they are seeing the luxury of what they are enjoying now.
Hello,
Good morning, mother.
good morning, sir. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Donald. I'm calling from Maburu.
You're
You
welcome.
are calling
Mr.
from
Donald.
Magboro.
Yes.
Where in Magboro, sir?
It's in Ogun State.
I know Magboro. Where in Magboro? Which area?
Okay, Happy Land Estate.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now can you make your contribution quickly?
And so what I want to say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president you have now, I thought he's a man that has the boldness and political will to checkmate the source of this petrol subsidy. The corruption in it is supposed to check it very well and stop it. They are taking it away because this money that are given to governors and local government is not reaching the people. But when the subsidy is there to reach everybody in the land. So he himself, I think, has the political will to check the corruption that is in that subsidy and see it up so that it will be completely and fairly minimized so that the people will have benefit of the resources that God has given us in the land. Because from time, he is the one that has stayed in one party. We don't have Godfather. So I thought we have had the political will to put the authority to power to stop those cabals that are mismanaging and they are very corruptive in the subsidy of the petroleum subsidy. So that the profits will reach to the people that are moving it entirely. It's not good like that. It's blessing that God has blessed us in the land. That everybody they can have to have a good taste of it. That's what I want to say. You should leave subsidy and then check the corruption that is in it and stop it so that the people will enjoy the blessing God has blessed us in the land.
Thank you, Mr. Donald. I want to ask you one question. We are going to address, the issue that you just raised immediately after you hang up. But I want to ask you, have you benefited in any way from the Obafemi Owode local government under which you are?
I've not benefited anything. Even the place I'm living, we are the one that bought the
transformer. Of course.
We are the one that fixed the roads, and we are the take care of our water and the security. Everything. There's no president or government in any form in this area.
Okay.
That's what you are saying.
So that is Ogun State. Well, I'm pleased to let you know that I live in Magboro and my co-host here lives in Magboro, so we understand where you're coming from. All right, Mr. Donald, I think it's time for you to go to Obafemi Owode local government and challenge them. Okay? Okay, let's address what Mr. Donald said. Now let me lay it like this for you, okay? Listen, the truth right now is that he made a very valid point. The point is that subsidy was removed. Why? Because a particular group of people were benefiting from the subsidy. Nigerians were not feeling the subsidy in any way. So I think that his point, I don't know whether I am for returning back to the old days.
No, we're not going back to subsidy.
So I don't. But my point is that my point is this: that if because people were not benefiting from what this cabal were benefiting from, the president decided to announce the removal of subsidy. He didn't remove subsidy. Subsidy had been removed from the previous administration, but it was not made official. So he made it official. Now, what I think that he should have done, like he is doing, is try to ensure that the people benefit from the subsidy by giving these monies to the governors and to the local government so that it will reach the people. Now, how does he ensure that this is done is the next question. Because at the end of the day, it's going to come to the same thing.
Of course.
It's going to be penny wise, pound foolish.
Go
on.
So the truth is this. The powers of the president is also limited. And that's what a lot of people don't know. I can give you money, but I'm not going to tell you how to spend the money or what to spend the money on. So when the president just observed that everybody is building bridge, that's why I say, can you just stop this nonsense elephant project that you are building? Do you understand? The states draft their budget, they draft their project for the year. The president don't interfere into that. So I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you what rightfully belongs to you according to an established sharing formula from FAC. 52% to the federal government, 48% to the governors, the local government, 13% statutory derivation to the oil producing states. That is the standard sharing formula for FAC every month. So even from knowing what has been generated, you can predict how much you would get as a state, depending on your ranking and your hierarchy. Do you understand? So it stays that way. But the question is this: are we, the citizens, asking our subnationals the right questions? Do you understand? Are we really asking the government? And good enough, though, there's a space online now. If you go to the federal government portal, there's a column there where you see fact sharing. So you can calculate how much your governor had gotten since 2023 till today.
Date.
So if your governor had gotten 77 billion, you can ask him, Oga, come on, what have you done with 77 billion? Except your governor wants to deny what the federal government posted on the FAC website. Do you understand? Mr. Local Government Chairman, in 3 years that you've been in office, apart from building house and staying in another local government out of your domain, what have you done with this 160 billion that you have gotten as local government chairman? Questions need to be asked.
Answered. Well, asked, and they should be answered. Now, I would like to quickly mention that, you can join us on our social media handles. You can make some comments there. If you visit your local governments and you're not, privileged to join us live on air, you can, drop your comments there. We will look at these things. We will analyze them, we will review them, we will bring them out here and talk about them and all of that. But I think that we should be more accountable in Nigeria. The time to start is now. Elections are going to start in another couple of months. Campaign has started. We don't want to make mistakes, at any point in time. We are going to decide who will lead us. Now, if we go to the polls and decide that we want the government in power to remain, we will do it. If we go to the polls and say we want to change the government, we can do it as well. So, the ball is in our court right now. It's time for us to stand up and say, you know what we want? We want a perfect country, a country that can be rated among those, who that are developed. And, we need a good leader to be able to get us there. So, like I said, the ball is in our courts. Let's make sure we throw the ball where it may. Let's take this next call, and I think we'll take our first break soon. Hello and welcome to the show. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, welcome to the show. What's your name?
This is Emmanuel on the line.
What, Emmanuel?
Yes, sir.
Where are you calling from?
Hello, Emmanuel.
We lost Emmanuel. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning,
Morning.
welcome to the show. What's your name, sir?
Yes, I'm lucky. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. Yeah, you are talking about more money that states and local governments are getting more money.
Yes, sir.
My sister, I got 215. Let me just, I'm in Port Harcourt now. I'm from Edo State. From Agbo, for my community, it's not up to 5 minutes. We pay 150 naira, at times 100 naira. Then today, from Agbo, a place that will not take you more than 5 minutes if you are on car, maybe bike for 10 minutes. We are paying 3,000 naira from Agbo to Oliji, my own community, and those things. Just the distance is not more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Now, a bag of cement we are buying before, how much then? 1,000 something. We are buying a bag of cement now, 15,000, 14,000. What are we comparing that that the state are having more money? A bag is cement before that you can use to buy one bag. For now, you cannot buy 5 bags, 3 bags, or 4 bags. We are talking of more money. I work on facts because when you talk of more money, what we are getting now, I don't know how to mention about what we are saying. It's not about more money, about the life of the people and about the cost of living we are having in this country. It's too high, my sister. Let's compare it. Before, if I can pay 150 naira to my community, but now I'm paying up to 3,000 naira. My sister, what are we talking about? Let's forget about that more money. I don't know what we are. Are we not in Nigeria? We all are in Nigeria. We know what is happening. They say more money, more money. My sister, it's not so. We are suffering. The Nigeria are suffering.
Okay, I agree with you, sir, that we are suffering. And I would like Okwe to respond to you after I've made this statement. I'm not going to cut you off the line because we need to make something clear. We are suffering. More money may not mean anything because
It doesn't mean anything, my sister.
you're looking at the standard of living. But the question is, so if we're talking about more money, which is the reality on ground, the government is actually giving, this federal government is giving more money to the local governments and the state governments. So are we now saying that because it really does not add up to much, so they should not be accountable?
Yeah, wait, no, no, no.
So we
I'm
are
not
talking
saying
about
that.
the accountability of the money.
They want to be federal road, sister. For that federal road, for my community, you cannot enter. Vehicle cannot enter. Only bike now can carry that road. We are not, you know where we are taking now? We are passing back from, if we want to go to my community, from Agbo to Oliji, we are taking now to Unede. From Unede, pass the back, and you will spend more than 5,000 naira because of the federal road. And you said that we are making more money.
I think we should.
Okay.
We've noted this point.
From Agbo to my community, that we have a little money. We know it's all, this thing is general from federal to state and local government.
Okay, your point has been noted. We will address it right now. Now, Okwe, let me just say this quickly. Can you remember when the Minister for Works was being questioned as to the amount of money that was given to him, and he should account for it? Remember? Can you remember his response to a journalist? He said it's not a business as to how he spends the money. So it just tells you about the mental state, of some of our leaders. Or are you on the line? I was supposed to have taken you off. I'm taking you off the line now, but we will respond to you. Okay. So this is my point. Look, these lines have gotten me all mixed up now.
I think this one should go. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Uh,
All right. So
I understand the concern of the caller too.
I do,
But
but
more importantly, the reason why we're expecting so much more is because so much more has been given. They said to whom much is given, to much is expected. We're not going to rule out, forget about the money. Because they're getting more money. Do you understand? People were being governed when they were getting little. Do you get? So people are still going to be governed now that they are getting more. You cannot tell me that we should forget about the money. No. The reason why I'm going to keep asking people to do more is because more is being given to them. If you say your community, what you were spending 150 naira on, you're not spending 5,000, you're spending 7,000, ask your governors. They are getting money. Ask your House of Assembly member representing you in that space. They are the one approving the budget for the governors. So as long as we continue to imagine that everything must come from the presidency, listen, I'm not speaking.
But he was specific about a federal road. Now, when you talk about the federal road, the state is not going to intervene.
Sure.
So he's actually requesting that there's a federal road that needs, attention in Delta State, and nothing is being done about it. So he's calling on the federal government because, according to him, he's not seeing what they are doing, and in his opinion, they are focusing on the fact that they're giving allocation and at a higher rate, at a higher amount to the other tiers of government.
Sure.
But they also are shirking in their own responsibility. So he's saying that the federal government, the state government, and the local government need to sit up, and meet their responsibilities to the people, because the people are looking up to them. And so he says he's not going to be drowned in the figures that they're throwing around right now. What is important to him is that the work is done, but he also is part of the process. Mr. Donald, you are part of the process, because if you don't go to your governor's office, if you don't go to your local government to demand what they're using the money for, unfortunately, I don't know your situation. I don't know if you can go to the level of the federal government. But if you cannot, or where you cannot, you can ask your state government, to bring in the involvement of the federal government to call their attention to the federal road that needs repairs in your state. It's very important. They need to be accountable to you. And if they do not answer you, come back to this program. Put us on, we'll put you on live, and you tell the world what they're doing, and then we will ask them questions. So that's the way. That's the way we want to run it now. We want to run it like that now.
Let everybody be involved.
Yes.
Go to your local government. Give us updates. In this number you are calling, you can send message to that number. We're going to read it, and we're going to follow it up. Oh, I've gone to local government XYZ.
Yes.
This is what they told me. This is what they said they have in plan. Then we can come out and also escalate it. Because first off, when we say governance is there's going to be between politics and governance.
Yes.
Leave politics for the people playing politics. But governance belongs to every one of us. You pass in front of the local government. So as I am now, I'm following a story now where a member of House of Assembly in Nasarawa State about a month ago donated 50 ceiling fans, 40 standing fans, and 50 orthopedic mattresses to the hospital in his community. Then on Saturday, day before yesterday, he made an unscheduled visit back to that community, back to that hospital. They didn't know he was coming. Guess what? They have sold every single mattress and ceiling fan and standing fan that he donated to that community. That is Tinubu's fault, right? No, it's Tinubu's fault. So when they say, waiting that they use the subsidy money do, that's part of it. If somebody donated 50 ceiling fans, 40 standing fans, and 50 orthopedic mattresses for you to equip this hospital in the place and represent, upgrade it, then he came back unscheduled. Then by the time he got there, they sold everything. They've sold it. I told you what happened in Maiduguri when I was in Maiduguri, what I saw in IDP camps, where items donated for the people in IDP, and they wrote it there not to be sold. So they bring it in the afternoon, though. You will see all of the paparazzi. They will do the recording. They will put it in the press. In the night, they will smuggle all those things out of the IDP camps, take it to open market, and the people that are supposed to be benefiting for free will come and use money to buy it in the open market. So you are buying a mosquito net that was donated for you for free and was written not to be sold, but you have to buy it. So we can sit down and blame the presidency as much as we want to, but we ourselves, tell me the person that sold those 50 ceiling fans and sold those mattresses, that person is not a politician. He's not. He's just a bloody criminal that needs to be jailed. It's as simple as that. If another person is worse than a bandit.
So we can sit down here all we want and say, oh, he's another criminal that needs to be jailed. But what will the system say? Will the system jail him? Will the system find him guilty of being a thief? No. It depends on how the system feels, really. So in Nigeria we cannot predict anything, but one thing that I can assure you is that our own transparency you will see, our accountability we will give to you at every point in time. I can tell you that I told and Okpeyemi Akiade will always be transparent and accountable to you. We will lay it bare, strip it bare. We will not dress it, and we will present it to you on the table. We have control over that, and we will do that in the best capacity that we can, But this is Nigeria. We will only shout, we will only speak, and we will only say. But the power to ensure that these things don't happen again lies in your hands, to ensure that these people are taken away. These miscreants are removed from the system by us checking on them just as they have been checked on, And I believe that this person who has donated this money should first of all make a demand on them to either return his money or return the goods. First of all, whether they find these people guilty or not, first of all, they must return these things to this man. And you see, if we continue to do this, try to get the system to be accountable to us. That is only if we are accountable, if we have integrity, then the system will get better. So it has to start with our own internal purging and cleansing of ourselves before we can step forward with the boldness of mind to start to demand accountability from other people. It's so sad and it's very embarrassing that we find ourselves in this kind of system, and that is how we are rated in the international communities. That's why you will go to a country and they will tell you they are not giving you visas to come into their country. Excuse me, the question I would like to ask is that what do they have? What is the milk and honey that's flowing in those countries that we don't have as human and natural resources in Nigeria? We have way more. But how have we put these things to use for Nigerians? First of all, in Nigeria, for Nigerians in diaspora, they wouldn't even be there if they were benefiting from home. So these are my questions. Unfortunately, the Nigerian problem is caused by Nigerians, not necessarily the president. And if you feel dissatisfied with the president, you have another opportunity come next year.
Of course.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Abiola Adeyemi on the line.
Welcome to the program. Abiola Adeyemi from where?
Better.
Okay, from Egbeda. Okay, you want to make a contribution?
Yes, ma.
Please go ahead.
What I notice in Nigeria government is there is no monitoring. That's the main issue there. But even when you look at those people giving contracts, some of them will do the contract at the halfway. At the end of the day, you realize that they will award that contract to another person with new money. So even talking about the local government, it's like giving them a great power. That is why most of them are killing themselves to come into that seat these days. Because they know that the national cake that is there is more than the one before. If you want to open their bottom, let us bring up most of these chairmen. Let them come and be accountable of what they have been using those money to do. I'm telling you, there will be a lot of problems that will come up, which will affect most of them. And it is in US that you see somebody that did his tenure finish, that the government called him that you have eat this money, or you have embezzled anything, you'll be going to court, or you'll be going to jail. In Nigeria, it's not so. How many of them? That is why people that are supposed to be on that throne will not reach because of their trust, because they are truthful. But people that will be able to manipulate and they can cover themselves, we get them, and they will join hand in hand.
Okay, you've made your point, Ma, but I'm always, asking our people, what has been your contribution to better the system, to better, the society that we live, to better the corruption, to change the narrative. We come here every day and we're saying the same thing. Sometimes as human beings, we get tired because we know what we're going to read in the news is the same thing as we did yesterday, but it's just coming in a different kind of packaging, if you understand what I'm saying. But the bottom line, what is the basis, what is the root, is the same thing. So sometimes, for us, it's monotonous. We get tired of doing or saying the same thing. So we've started to take a different dimension now. We are saying that let us all be part of this problem. Let us all take this problem on our head. It's just as well as you having a house help in your house, madam, and your house help is not functioning. What are you going to do? You're going to ask her to leave and you will step up the game. What she was doing, you will continue to do until you get another house help. Am I correct? Yes. Because your home is not going to stand still. So what we're supposed to do right now is to get involved in the process. And I'm charging everybody, including you. Go to your local government. Come back and give us a feedback as to what they tell you, as to how they treat you. We need to know those who are performing and those who are not performing so we can put them out there and people can know to be aware of them and not to bring them back into power. So this is the opportunity that we have. The ball is in our court right now. Don't forget, all of them are looking to us to vote for them. But when we come here and say, you know why you shouldn't vote for this person who is the chairperson of this local government? Because Madam XYZ has gone there. This was what they said to her. This was how they treated her. And they have, in her opinion, not performed. So thank you for calling, and we ask you to, take up that responsibility, come back to us, and let's share time together. Okay, it's still the Breakfast Express show. We'd like to take a break right now, and when we return, there'll be more from the newspaper review. Please stay tuned.
In Biggie's house, there is no place to hide.
And so when you break rhythm of,
You're welcome back. We apologize for the delay. Yeah, we had to sort out some technical issues. All right, still on the Breakfast Express show. We were just building up the momentum, and we had to take a quick break, and a very sudden one too. So, but here we are. We're back, and we're discussing issues, surrounding, especially accountability of the various tiers of government to the people, the responsibility of them as well. What are they doing for the people? And, we've gotten a lot of calls. We will, be asking for some understanding, because in the next couple of minutes we may not be able to take some calls, but we're going to get back on track very soon, and the calls will continue to come in. All right, so let's go back to the newspapers. Punch newspaper, the bottom strip says 150,000 naira palliative, pensioners threaten mass protest. I don't know why pensioners should be protesting. I don't know why people when they call them pensioners, that means most of them have reached the age of retirement, and it's time for them to go home, get some rest, and, get paid. Monies that are actually theirs. It's not as if the government is doing them a favor, because these monies had been put aside, at some point. And so, in trickles, and these monies accumulated and were supposed to have been given to them, every month. But unfortunately, that's not happening, very sadly. So, why should there be protests from pensioners who actually should be resting? Pensioners who have worked and given it their very best shot, if you ask me. They're the ones who are supposed to be enjoying, because this is their time, to be resting. Unfortunately, that's not the case here, in Nigeria. We're hoping that, sooner than later it will be, better, and that the government will be able to give to pensioners what is due to them, so that they don't have to be begging, for what is due to them. Okay, Okpa, do you want to make any comments on that?
no, I think it's a conversation we've had over the last few weeks.
Over time, yeah.
People that have put in the work, 35 years of their active, years, to serve this country in whatever capacity, military, civilian, whatever it is, they deserve whatever they are getting. The times are tough. And then, so when you deny people their pensions, you are basically sending the wrong signal to the young people that want to come into the system. Because whether we like it or not, there's no country that can survive without a dedicated workforce. So when people are pulling out, when people don't want to get it, because they have seen that, so if I come into this system and I feel 35 years of my life and I leave, so I have to still be going to the street of Abuja to beg for what rightfully belongs to me. That's my concerns. I mean, do you know that some of these are, because at the end of the day, it goes back to the table of the politicians. Some of these, I watched Ayodele Fayose, I think 2 weeks ago, when he was dedicating one of the structures built and named after him, and he was telling the sitting governor, that's Governor Yebanji, that I'll explain, I'll translate it. Our former governor, to see the work. So some of these governors don't. They are earning because some of them, when they were in office, they've domesticated laws through the instrument of the State House of Assembly that put them on life pension. So let me tell you something. At some point in this country, the former governor of Plateau State, Jonah Jang, retired from the military. So he's still on the military pensions board. He was the governor of Plateau State. Do you understand?
Yes.
He was collecting pension in Plateau State as a former governor. Do you understand? So then he went to the Senate. Do you understand? And he's still collecting his entitlement as a senator. There are people like that. There are governors in this country that till death, their families and generations above will probably never be poor. But they're still collecting pension from the State House of Assembly.
Something similar happened to Benga Daniels, and he said, "You know
He said he
what?
doesn't
He
want
said, I
it.
don't want
I'm
it.
a serving senator. I'm still collecting my money."
Yeah, so right now you can use it
almost, if I'm not mistaken, maybe all of the 36 states already have domesticated laws that says that maybe after every 2 years, you change the cars of former governors. After every 3 years, you change their houses or you renovate their buildings. You put the entire family on medical, what's it called now? Medical subventions. If they want to travel, the bills is going to be on the state government. And those governors are still collecting big contracts. Those former governors, they're still milking the system. But those people, and you know what? As a governor, you did only 8 years old, maybe 4 or 8, and then you're collecting life pension. But somebody that did 35 years
worked his
is still
entire life
protesting to get what belongs to him. Them. But you, with what you have stolen as a governor, do you understand? You still went to the Senate, you still collected money, and you're still a serving minister. You don't understand this thing.
Of course I do.
Somebody that was speaker for 8 years, governor 8 years,
now senator,
minister 7.5 years. Do you understand? 2 years after, he's telling us that he's hungry. You are playing on the weakness of Nigerians. Do you get? So when you look at this process, and then the people, you did only 4 years now, and you are collecting pension as a former governor into millions every month, every 2 years. They change your cars, they change everything. You have an audit that will be with you maybe for the rest of your life. Your house in the village, there are policemen attached to it. They're not doing anything. But then the people that put in their entire 35 years, you will see them on the street of Abuja protesting. Some of them will even get tear gassed. Some of them will die in the process of trying to claim what belongs to them. They will slump and die.
Honestly, government needs to look into this, because this is not fair. Because when people have worked for 35 years, they retire, they're entitled to certain benefits. Please meet them at the point of their needs. If you can go to God and say to God, meet us at the point of our needs, why are you not meeting people who ordinarily are supposed, this is, you're not doing it, you're not doing them a favor. It is an obligation that you owe to them. Please meet our pensioners at the point of their needs. It is not fair, and it doesn't make us happy, because we know that at some point, listen, they are the ones that are wearing the shoes now. Whether you've been minister, whether you've been governor, whether you've been senator, whether you've been local government chairman, and you're getting all these things, at some point you will wear their shoes. I promise you.
Of course you will.
I promise you, at some point you will wear the shoes, and you know where the shoes pinch. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to the program. What's your name?
I'm Dr. Coker.
Oh, Dr. Coker, where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from Ogun State. That's Songo, to be precise.
Okay, so tell us a bit about Songo. How much of the government's, generosity have you benefited in Ogun State, in Songo?
Well, Songo is a place that's always in the news, and negatively in some aspect due to bad roads and some roads under construction and not properly done. People are always complaining. Then let's move off the federal roads, look at the state roads and the local government responsibility in Songo. I stay in the Anoyesi, to be precise. From Anoyesi, the road was constructed up to Adebisi. From Adebisi down to Suke, the road is dilapidated. It's uncalled for. Although the road was constructed by one former governor, military governor, it's many years ago. But between that time and now, the road has become so bad that it is unmotorable. Though we have to still manage it the way it is. Immediately it rains, you find it difficult to ply the roads. Okada is the talk of the day. However, the other aspect why I call, because the current conversation you are on is about
pensioners.
And you mentioned people collecting pension from various strata.
I'm a retired military officer,
Hmm.
captain retired. I'm a retired captain. My current pension is nothing to write home about, although it's been adjusted from time to time.
Yes.
I retired from 2005 and up to date, but because I'm still strong, I can try to do one work or the other. I try to do one security work, work with security organization. That's how I'm able to meet up the bills because I have a family of 7.
Hmm.
Me and my wife, we have 5 kids,
5 children.
and they have to go to school. So I will tell you, in terms of pension, they need to follow the consequential adjustment as they are increasing the salaries of those who are serving. So we expect them to do something about pension. We don't need to come out to protest. Before they will look at
Do the
our
right thing.
plight, they will look at our suffering. And for those who are collecting pension at multiple pension, as you call it, the same way we fight against a multiple taxation,
Taxation.
we should be able to fight against multiple pension. Although they could be given the opportunity to get the best pension package that is okay for them. Let's say somebody who was a governor, or let's start from even the local government. If he has a pension and it becomes a governor, they should be able to scrap one of the local government and he gets the better option until he gets to the highest sitting at the highest office he is going to hold. So I support your motion that we don't need to be crying before they answer our complaint. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very, very valid, contribution to the program, Dr. Coker. I feel your pain, and I don't want to imagine that you retired from the military at the age of 60. Because if I'm going to do that calculation, 2005, then I think you'd be too old to be working at this point. So I just want to believe that maybe it's voluntary retirement or something, But whatever it is, the fact that you have put in, the number of years that you put in, I don't think that anybody has the right, to deprive you of what, truly is yours. And here's calling on the government again on behalf of the pensioners. Last week we talked about the pensioners. This week we're talking about the pensioners on a Monday morning. This is not what we should be talking about. All of us, the one prayer that we all say is that God should keep us to be able to number our days, onto and apply our hearts unto wisdom. What does that mean? Old age, to achieve and attain an age that we would refer to as being ripe before we eventually depart this earth. Now, if this is our prayer, why would somebody sit in wherever office and decide that, the people who should be deprived of what is truly due to them are the pensioners, the people who have achieved an age that we're praying to achieve? I don't get it. How are your prayers answered when you're not setting the pace for those prayers to be answered? But of course, just because we all do this, taking God for granted all the time, because He's always so merciful, irrespective of who we are, or how wicked we are, or how callous we've been, or how much of an adulterer we've been, how much of an armed robber, or whatever. He will still send the rain to you, and the sun will still shine. It doesn't matter, irrespective. So we want to take Him for granted. But guess what? We have something that they call the conscience. And I think that our conscience should start to tell us, the right thing to do. I think that our pensioners should be given special focus. And at some point, we're going to invite, some of our pensioners, on the program to be able to speak, tell us their experiences, right now, and what they want the government to do for them. Why should we be bringing these people to come and plead with the government? Okwe, this is the kind of thing that makes me lose my temper, sometimes get emotional, not temper, but, get really emotional, deeply emotional, because I don't know why people who are elderly, some of them are even trying to balance themselves on their 2 feet. Some of them are using walking sticks. Some of them are on the riders, you know what I mean? Call it what you want. And yet we deprive them. I want to ask you, what will your own old age look like? Do you know? No, you don't. Because nobody sees into the future anyway.
Hello.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Daniel calling from Ojodu.
Pastor Daniel, you're welcome to the show. Make your contribution very briefly, sir.
Okay, I've been trying to call before you go off break. I wanted to comment on the local government and government issue. I don't know if it's valid to contribute.
Yes, it's okay. You can make your contribution. It's fine.
All right.
And Okwe will respond to you once you're done.
All right. Thank you for the good work you people are doing there. You are enlightening the public and it's very, very good and helpful.
Thank you.
One day, the devil will turn. The people will get back their power and control those in authority to
Yes.
do the right thing.
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say there is this. You know, you always advocate to vote them out, vote them out, vote them out. And when they are voted in, it will take almost like 4 years before they are voted out. And within that 4 years, they can do anything. Some of them do anything they like. And buy their way for the second time or if they are voted out. And then, if they are still serving, you go there to inquire and ask like they have been telling some people that have been calling, go and ask, go and ask. If they ask and there is nothing they are doing, who is going to arrest them? They have immunity that nobody will touch them until they are out of office. And all these things, until we remove that immunity clause, like the Americans, if you commit offense in the office, you go in for it and they'll be removed. Other countries that the president democracy, they don't wait until you serve and commit all the whole crime you want to commit. Then when you come out, they begin to run to
The
court.
smallest of one, you are gone.
So they will hold you accountable at the moment. So that when they enter there, they will know that any small thing, they will come for them and they will sit up. Things will balance. That was for those to wait till the end of their tenure of 4 years or so before we begin to see how to vote them out. Thank you. That's my contribution.
Thank you so much for your contribution. Okwe Yemi will handle that.
No, I think the over the weekend I was watching the former president of Liberia, George Oponwe, addressing some Nigerian lawyers at the conference, and he says that democracy, that election voting alone is not what sustains democracy. I understand where this where pastor is coming from. If he says that, say we should vote them out, we should do this. First off, we're not going to tell you to vote anybody out on this show. We are not going to specify that. We're just going to put the conversation on the table and understand the need for you. If you think an administration has not lived up to your expectations, that's why we have periodic election. That's why every 4 years I will have elections, and you have the choice to either consolidate on whatever it is that we have, or you check elsewhere. So that's what we're simply saying that. But the truth is this: in an ideal society, you have a power to throw people out. Do you understand? President Donald Trump said something a few days ago that if his party, the Republicans, should lose the midterm elections, that he could be impeached. That means if the Democrats should take over the Senate, he could be impeached. That is the people that understand that the people has the power to choose and to determine who leads them. Look at the simplest definition of democracy, Nigerians. They said it's the government of the people, for the people, and by the people. There's a reason people came 3 times in that single conversation, because the people should own how they should be governed, the structure of governance, the pattern of governance, the type of governance, the quality of leaders. All of these are factors that are solely owned by the people. But look at the system that we have here. We thought the Osun election was free, fair, credible, but since after the election, we've been hearing different press stories. How the people, escaped the trap of INEC, and then there was vote buying. The elder brother to the governor, that's Dr. Deji Adeleke, come out to say that, the APC spent 60 billion for that election. Even the niece of the governor, David Adeleke, also come out and say, they spent 100 billion for that election. There was vote buying, there was this, there was that. And that was an election that all of us are judged to be credible enough to, to be optimistic towards the 2027 January election. So we have a long, long way to go. And until we're ready to own the system, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere.
Okay, we're not going anywhere. That's coming from Okwe. I'm looking at his analysis. Would you say he has a point or he doesn't have a point? I think he has a point. I'm trying to finish the point newspaper, and another call is coming in. Okay, let's take this call. Let's see who's calling now. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, God bless
Sir, 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 you need to turn down the volume of your television set. We can't hear you.
Ooh,
It's
please.
too
Okay, okay,
much.
okay, you are right. You are right. Yes, you are right. God bless you.
Okay.
Amen.
So what am I trying to say is so much love is your program, the
Thank
way
you,
you are
sir.
handling it.
Thank you,
Now,
sir.
if I will get the conversation very well, that pensioner who have been able to government have waited for since 2015 or so, or 2005, am I right?
Just pensioners generally, generally.
Generally, okay, generally, yes, let me put it generally. Generally, now, if you look at it now, it's not this present government that will get that money, not this present government. So, how are we going to come this situation? But now, the way some people are now contributing, bringing their own contribution, they are doing it such a way that it is this present government that owe them. And to me personally, we thank God that this present government is now in a position. It's now trying it's possible to pay certain pension, certain amount of money to the pensioners. So, according to Brother Freddy, now what are we going to do to cut this thing? To cut this situation? Now, in this situation, whenever the money is somewhere, so set of people will take the money now to go and deposit it in the bank. They will continue sharing the interest. It's not supposed to be so. And look at those people who have worked. Listen now, some of them they have died. So, and is it possible for their senior to come and be paid for those who owe them the money? It's not possible. So let us pray effectively for this government that they should be able to pay them. This present government is trying its possible best to put this in order. That is my contribution. God bless you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, sir.
Did you hear that too?
Yes.
That people take pensions
Yes.
and then they keep it in the bank.
Yes.
They fix it, people's pensions, and then they will continue to receive the interest on that particular money.
Just hang
money
on.
you're supposed to
Hang
give
on.
people.
We have another caller. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My second time I'm calling this number. My name is Bola. I'm calling from the Kudu.
Ah, Mr. Bola from Ikorodu. Yes, I remember you. We've given you an assignment. I won't forget.
Yeah, I'll forget.
Okay. So,
The issue of this personal something. Let Nigerian governor take a leave from Abia State governor. The governor has specially given a priority to what we call senior citizens in the state. Anybody above 50 years has free medical, housing, pension correctly. That man is doing the right thing and is putting the right hope. But it is the only person in Nigeria that is taking care of pensioners and anybody above 50. Hospital-wise, is free. All those things like that. And they are only 30, maybe 35 states were able to know that that man is doing the right thing, but they didn't copy him. So what I'm talking about, they know what to do. All these governors, all these governors, pensioners, all those things. There's a PENCOM. PENCOM should come out with a specific issue that, okay, pensioners, so should be collecting their money at the right time. They are not getting the same money from the federal government. Abia is proving very right, while others are just sleeping. That's my situation. That's my point.
thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, so Okwe will do, he'll just lump both of them together. Okwe, let's, I can see that you listen very,
Yes.
detailedly, or, to the callers. But I would like to take out something that Mr. Bola said. He's saying that it's important that, we look at the pensioners as senior citizens and treat them just as the Abia state governor has started to treat these senior citizens. Do you think Nigerian governors will take a cue from what the Abia state governor is doing and take it from there?
It's not even a question of if they should. It is mandatory for them to. Because if you as a governor served for 8 years and you put yourself on life pensions, do you understand? Then what happens to the people that served for 35 years? You were voted into office. Those people went through the process. So One of the callers talked about the fact that the increment in the salary of the active officers is not reflecting on the pensioners. So you have pensioners that have been on the same payment for more than 15 years with the harsh reality of what we have done. I think we have a system that even takes care of their basic. Oh, okay, as a pensioner, you can walk through a primary healthcare center. If you have anything, maybe you are diabetic, you have this one, you have this one, you have that one. There's a medical, arrangement for you that takes care of your medical needs. At the end of every month, you can go to your local government. There is maybe food that will be made available to you. This and that, we don't understand. But you see someone that are retired from the service that is still going to serve as a private security guard, still guarding a bank overnight. People that have spent 35 years of their lives. I told you I went to a military school. There were people, there were, hostel masters those times that they've gone to fight war. Some of them had bullet wounds. Some of them had, personal, permanent disabilities on their body. And those people, you see how active they want to be. But you can't cheat nature.
You can't, I must
You
tell
can't do
you.
anything about it. The moment it comes, everything around your body would have to align with your current realities, which is your age. So we should not even be asking if the government should be committed into taking care of their pensioners. The money you are enjoying as a governor, someone kept this country working for you to come in and enjoy it. So when you live as a governor, you are still enjoying political benefit. You are still collecting contract. You've stolen enough. You have investment. You've written C of O for yourself on landed properties that for the rest of your life you will not suffer. But you are still collecting pension from the same states that you govern. But the people that did 35 years, railway workers, this one, they are begging you to pay them. Should that even be a problem? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Should it even be something that they will remind the governors? No.
No.
No. There's somebody that they now said, oh, they've released the pension for you people. Go and settle their pension. Then the person will carry the money.
And
Put
go
it in a
fix
bank.
it.
And
And
then the
get the
proceed of that
profit.
money, they'll be living on it. But people are dying. You see, when they say wickedness, it's not until you become a wizard or a witch. No. There are certain things that you do. I will look at you and say, your witchcraft is legendary. When you carry what belongs to people that are supposed to feed on tongue, look at the man that said he has seven in their family, himself, his wife, and 5 children. That they have to take care of those people. Do you understand? And the money that rightfully belongs to this person,
It's been
you want to
deprived.
put it
Yes, in a bank and fix
because
it.
of the proceed that you are making. And you wake up in the morning and then you are blaming Tinubu. No, leave Tinubu first. Blame yourself. Blame the people that gave birth to you. That whoever taught you wickedness, blame that person. Leave the president first, because they've given you the money to handle these people's problems. Do you understand? Is it Tinubu that says somebody should go and sell mattress and ceiling fan? Is that Tinubu's problem? Is that Tinubu that said you should do that one?
You see, and that's why I really love, this program, despite the fact that I'm one of the people who adds to the success of it, because we will say it as it is. I don't know how many times people think that we are against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because we come here and criticize him. We come here and really analyze the things that we think he's missing to do for the people. Sometimes we talk about the things that he has done, which we think, that people are saying he should not be doing, and all of that. And people say, what do you have against this man? We don't have anything against the man. But what we're saying today is that this is not him. Don't put on him what is not his problem. You and I have a problem. We need to make a conscious effort. We need to be intentional about contributing to the success of Nigeria. And that is not by selling, 40 standing fans, 50 ceiling fans, and 50, orthopedic mattresses donated by a good or well-meaning Nigerian towards the upliftment of his community healthcare facility. I don't know whether it's a hospital or a clinic. That's not by doing that kind of thing. It's by contributing positively. So take this away from the government. That's what Okwa is saying. Take this away from the federal, take this away from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What have you done? What are you doing? What can you do to contribute? Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Did you ask who is this? But I want to assume that some the lines, are clashing or something. Okay, so let me just quickly take the final story from the Guardian newspaper. I know that we have put paid to it. So it says 2027. Oh, it's not the final story. 2027. Umba Onaikon headline NGE debate on election disinformation. What do you think about
Yeah,
that? Do you
it's a
think
good one.
it's a good
Yeah,
one? It's a good
it's a
one.
Nigerian Guild of Editors, and
Yeah.
I think it's one of the conversation I'm always looking forward to
Yeah.
during the elections, and
Okay.
because there's
Just
going to
make
be a
sure
lot
that I'm
of
there.
there's going to be a lot of disinformation, especially with the AI that we
Yeah.
have right now.
Right now,
So, and I'm not sure if INEC is even ready for the catastrophe that could come if you don't handle that situation well, too. And I'm very serious about it. Because some people will wake up, use AI to do video of a candidate that is announcing that is stepping down on the eve of the election. And because the people don't know the difference between AI, because it's so real, it looks so real these
real.
days. Some people will fabricate, there will be AI generated election results,
I'm telling you,
declaration of
we have to be
candidates.
very vigilant
And I
because
think
what
that's
is
what the
going to
government is
happen?
not even paying attention
Section
to.
2. Honestly, we have to be extremely vigilant. Extremely. I don't know. Let's see if we can take this call. Hello. Well, we're supposed to be rounding up. Hello. Good morning. Hello, and yet another call. Hello. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, sorry, you called this number and I'm trying to call you.
Hello.
Yeah?
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Morning, ma. My
What's
name
your
is Michael.
your name is what? You need to speak louder. We
I,
can't hear you.
I,
Ayo
I, yeah,
from Lagos.
yes,
Okay, you want to
from
make a
Ogba.
from Ogba. Okay, please make your contribution very very quickly because we need to round up.
I don't want to talk about the issue of somebody that was that they donated some things and went and showed it. What I know that actually we cannot be blaming the person or whoever. Then don't let what have been done about such matter. Somebody that have already they know what they have done. And there should be a kind of repercussion. If they have been repercussion for this, it will be but if we shut others, that's just the problem. Not that government is not doing what it's supposed to. There's some people that get their doing whatever they like. So if the government has made provision for some to be able to monitor it and see that it's well well used, that's the problem. Now whoever that afraid to use it well, they should bring him to they should bring him to judgment. That's the story. So that it will make it will be a kind of deterrent for others to do such things in motion.
Thank you very much for that point. Thank you. Well appreciated and well taken. Something that we have been advocating for on the table.
Sure.
Countless times with that number we said, it is only when you get somebody, you say is a culprit, take him to court, let the court establish whether he's actually a criminal or not, then give him a punishment that is due or equal to the offense that he's committed. It's as simple as that. Until we start to have, what do you call them? When you punish somebody, we have scapegoats.
Scapegoats, of course.
Until we start to have scapegoats, I don't know how serious the system is going to be taken when it comes to things like this. Unfortunately, this is the way we run. This is the way we roll. We're hoping that Nigeria will be a better place. It takes you, it takes me, it takes all of us, to be part of the system and to make it work effectively. So, first of all, if you see something, say something. After you've said something, let's see what the next, authorities will do from the something that you've said. But all that we've said are things that we've seen on the newspaper this morning. We have, put them out there on the table. Okwe has analyzed to the best of his ability. The man, is a politician in the making, but, not the kind of politics that we play. He's going to bring, a different dimension to to politicking in Nigeria. If he's given the opportunity, if he's given an appointment, he's open to taking up appointments. And I'm not campaigning for Okwe. I'm not campaigning for him.
The money
I'm not campaigning or endorsing or saying anything, but I should, to a large extent be able to stand for him. I have said I don't want any appointment. Don't bring it to me. I won't take it. I can't do it. I want to do what I can do well and deliver on my promises. So here I will stay in this space where I know that I can give you, at least a bit of my best, if you ask me. So thank you so much to all the people that have called us today, all the people that, stood with us when we went on that very long break, came back with us, all the people who have expressed themselves, and all the people that we've given assignments to do. We're expecting a feedback. We have the whole of this week. Sometimes it looks like it's a long week, and then before you know it, it's Friday again, and it's a weekend. So thank you so much, for watching. Okwe will be signing off.
There's a problem in the society that we need to quickly address.
Okay,
and I
quickly,
hope that the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will set the right modalities in place to make sure that Nigerians are not exploited. So, if there's a case of organ harvesting, organ trading going on in this country in such a large scale that people are working with one or no organs at all, and they did not even know when it was either harvested or they deliberately sold it, and maybe the amount they were promised was not what was given to them, and they're now coming out to speak. So there are hundreds of thousands of Nigerians that are at the risk of being abducted and their organs harvested. So we have a global organ trading organization in this country that is dealing with hospitals, because you cannot harvest somebody's organ without someone that is medically certified to do same. It is a problem that we're not dealing with. The number of people coming out to report harvested organs in this country is disturbing, Tom. And I hope we're going to look into this one. People will get they'll get spiked, and then they will go into another one, and they will have their organs harvested. Some people will go for a surgery, maybe an ordinary appendix surgery, and then you will not even know that while they were conducting that surgery on you, they removed one of your organs, and then you'll be stitched back up. The federal government needs to open up and address this as quick as possible. It's a problem, Tom. It's a problem.
Okay, so when we see problems, we are able to identify problems. We need to speak up. We're challenging you out there to speak up when you see something. Okwe has identified something that we were in the know of, but we didn't know how deeply rooted this was, thriving in Nigeria. But Okwe is putting on the table now and saying that some people are taking undue advantage of, perhaps because of their lack of formal education or because of their lack of understanding and knowledge. They're being taken undue advantage. Some
people are selling it.
Some people are on their own deciding to sell their organs. So we have different cases and different classes. Some people on their own, because of this thing they call money, are selling their organs. In that case, I don't know how much of a case I can make for those people, but anyway, I will speak up and speak out. So we need to address this issue. There needs to be awareness. What is our advocacy team doing? You go to work every morning. How much advocacy are you really? How much information are you disseminating? But you go to work every day, and at the end of the month, you get a salary. Sometimes you don't do anything at work. Sometimes you don't even go to work because there's nothing for you to do. Seemingly so, but there's so much on the table for you to do, and you are not doing. So we need to address these things ASAP. So there's a class of people who don't know that their organs are being harvested. They're going in for surgeries, and something else is being taken out alongside what the primary cost for the surgery was. Some people are going to sell their organs, because they want money. Other people are just being,
money that by the time the remaining organ fails, the money you spent, you cannot get it back.
And some people are actually being, drugged, to be taken unconsciously, in for surgery. Some are being kidnapped, and so on and so forth. The story just goes on and on.
You know,
It's time for the government to take, certain, very serious actions to ensure that a stop is put to all of this.
it's so crazy that if they want to harvest your organ, they will look for the healthy one and remove. So the one you are
They now
left
leave
with
you with the one that
is the one that will probably not even sustain you for a little days or how many weeks and months. See, the ones that are selling their own organs to your tent or easier, that's your problem. But I'm talking about people that are getting abducted, kidnapped, and then they will tear them up. Because you cannot tell me that it is a quack or a random person. Because if you harvest an organ too, there must be a process where you are preserving that organ before it gets to where it's going to, or maybe before it's been exported out of this country. So there are facilities put in place to preserve stolen organs in this country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are begging you so well that this criminality must not be allowed to thrive in this country. Nigerians are having their organs stolen from them, and we need to set the right authorities in place to make sure that these hospitals that are banking and saving these organs are fished out and the perpetrators are brought to book. It's an international ring, it's a global syndicate, and they are currently in Nigeria. Fish them out. Fish them out. My name is Opayemi Akere. Bright and early, God willing, to I will be able to come back here tomorrow, and I will be able to take more newspapers tomorrow.
It's so funny the way Opayemi went from 0 to 100 and then just landed on 20 again and signed out. That's the show. That's the way the show will roll all the time. The show must go on anyway, no matter how emotionally disturbed you are, no matter how angry you are, you must do what you need to do. All right. Thank you so much, for watching our program this morning, for contributing to our program this morning. Today is a Monday morning. Tomorrow is another day, Tuesday. God willing, he will spare our lives, and we'll be right back on the table to discuss all of the things that come with the new day. You never know what tomorrow holds, and we pray that tomorrow will hold a lot of good news, and a lot of prospects, for Nigerians. Thank you for being there. But before I go, I want to tell you to go take a look at the mirror. Like I always say, is there anything you need to change about yourself? Please change it ASAP, because we want the world to be a better place with you in it. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Tom Adirili. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I'm signing out right now.